Hey everyone. In this video I want to talk about how love is not enough. So what I mean here is a lot of people will choose a partner for them based on the fact that they love that person. But you can easily fall in love with someone who is horrible for you. So love can't be the be all and end all when it comes to relationships, because it isn't even that great of an indicator of the longevity of the relationship or even your happiness and fulfillment within the relationship. Love is, it's important, don't get me wrong, but I found that we kind of place too much emphasis on it. You see, instead of making love the main thing that you focus on, make it like the number 2 or number 3 thing. And the number 1 thing should be your actual compatibility with that other person. How well you actually get along with them. Do they treat you well? Are they kind to you? Do they actually genuinely care about you? And you'll know that based on their actions, because if somebody genuinely cares about you, they will make time for you. They will be there for you when you need them. They'll be loyal. They're not going to be willing to cheat on you because they genuinely care about you to that extent. Well, hopefully. There still can be instances where somebody cares about you and cheats on you because they just lack the emotional maturity to make smart decisions, but that's another conversation entirely. But basically, what I'm driving at here is try not to make love the main thing that you focus on with other people. And never lie to yourself by saying that you should stay with someone just because you love them, even if they're bad for you. This is huge because more people should do this in their own lives, because I've met a lot of people who stick with bad partners just because they care about them to that level. But why would you do that? You can care about someone and know that they're not great for you and be willing to walk away from them and choose yourself over them. I know it can sound a bit harsh, but going off of yesterday's video, this is yet again another situation where our kindness can actually hurt us. Our niceness can be a bad quality. If we're willing to put somebody else before us because we care about them to that level, well, now we're neglecting ourselves. And you have to remember, you're living your life. You're not living their life. So even if you don't want to hurt them and you feel like guilty over that, at some point you have to choose yourself. And if somebody isn't good for you, are you really going to stick with them and sacrifice your long-term happiness and overall life quality just to stay with them and make them happy? The me of the past would have done that, but that's because the me of the past was a stereotypical nice guy. I was willing to put everyone ahead of myself. That me, excuse me, that version of me would never have been able to make these videos because I wasn't actually working on I was working on myself, but I wasn't making myself my main priority. And it's difficult to help other people if you don't do that. It's also difficult to have fulfilling relationships if you don't focus on yourself first and foremost. Because quite often when somebody ends up settling for someone who isn't that great for them because they have those deep feelings for them, they often will kind of neglect themselves. It won't be someone who puts themselves first, because if they did that, then they would want what's best for them, and that would mean not choosing that partner. But if somebody doesn't have that level of self-love, then they'd be willing to choose someone based on the fact that they love that person. Even if that person's an abuser or a narcissist or, well, when I say abuser, that can be both physical or even emotional abuse, which so many people downplay the impact that emotional abuse has on you, and nobody should put up with that. I don't care how much you love a person, if they're emotionally abusing you, it's not worth being with them. We should almost consider that on an equal level to physical abuse, but everybody for some reason finds physical abuse way worse, which I understand why, because they can deeply harm you. But emotional abuse is really messed up as well. That can permanently destroy your self-esteem for quite some time. It can take you years to recover from it. So it's just not worth it. I truly believe that we should stop placing so much emphasis on love alone, because you can just so easily fall in love with someone who is not good for you, especially if they're a manipulator. If they're a narcissist, oh my God, they could keep you trapped for long periods of time if you never stop and ask yourself whether or not they're actually good for you, and if you never stop and put yourself first and start thinking about what you actually need to make your life better, and that maybe they don't fit in that picture, and that maybe you should move on without them. If you care about them enough, maybe you can stay friends with them if they're actually decent enough to allow that arrangement to work out. But otherwise, you really should get to a place where you're comfortable choosing yourself and letting them go. If they're not good for you, then what's the point in keeping them around? Now, I know this video has been a bit harsh, but look guys, you have one life to live. Just one. You get one shot at this. Are you really going to sacrifice that and a lot of your happiness and fulfillment and overall quality of life for someone who isn't good for you just because you have deep feelings for them? We have to be strong enough to move past that, because if somebody isn't good for you, staying is not the right option. But anyway, I'm going to end the video here. If you enjoyed this video, the easiest way you can support me is just to like, comment, and share. And I will see you guys in the next video. Arrivederci!